Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for the gift that you gave us last year. It has been a completely incredible year, and we wouldn't be able to be where we are without so many of the people in this room. From Mike to Afra, Fred, Pete, Roger. I mean, there are so many people here that really have given their time, their support as well, their advice, and they've allowed us to get to where we are. So, a year ago, we were basically trying to come up with a project that was immediate, effective, in line with the science, positive, something that everyone could get involved in, and something which was going to make a big difference to this problem of climate change, which has seemed so stuck over the last year and even beyond that. The idea we came up with was 10-10. Now, the idea behind 10-10, for those of you that don't know, is a campaign to get individuals, organisations, businesses to cut 10% of their carbon emissions in a year. Now, that's a figure which is achievable for most, but it's also meaningful as well. And the fact that everyone, from individuals right the way through to businesses, can take part in that means that it takes place across all of society. So, for example, this building that we're in here today is actually a 10-10 building and is cutting 10% of its carbon over the next 12 months. As myself, over 100,000 other people who we've attracted in the last year, 3,371 businesses, right away from people in their front rooms up to some of the biggest businesses across society, including Royal Mail, O2, Ocado, and many, many more. We've also got 1,900 schools, which is my favourite part of the campaign, all of them having lesson plans on climate change and actually getting stuck in and doing stuff. We have 2,128 organisations, including 179 hospitals. And we've also brought together, on the back of the money that you've given us, a team of the 25 best campaigners I have ever been lucky enough to work with. 2 of them are here in this room at the moment. Annabelle Dixon, who we poached from TFN last time we came back for funding, and now is our fundraising coordinator, does a brilliant job. And Franny Armstrong, who's fresh off the set of the Richard Curtis mini-movie that is all being made for us pro bono and launched later this week. So, with those collective commitments across society, we've managed to cut a whopping 500,000 tonnes of carbon in the last year on a £500,000 budget. So that's an incredible amount. But actually, it's not those things that I find most inspiring. It's actually the stories. Late on Saturday last week, I got this picture through, and we had no idea that anyone was going to do this, but 1,500 scouts got together in the Netherlands, in one of the 42 countries that are signed up to the campaign, and they stood in this 10-10, and they made this logo to inspire people. And here are a few other examples of the sorts of things that are happening. From the middle of this slide here, where you can see 10-10 on the Champs-Élysées, from the bottom left, where you can see 10-10 at 10 of the biggest music festivals over the last year, to the bottom right there, where you've got Royal Mail, because they're signed up, stamping 36 million pieces of post with their logo, spreading the message, getting out there this idea that we can make a difference on climate change, we can improve the situation, and we can make a really big difference. So these people here are telling a story. They're telling a story that it is possible to deal with climate change. And that story itself over the last year has also, on the back of your money, become political. Because this shows that actually people are ready for action on climate change. So the second day of this coalition government time in office, they signed up central government to the petition. 150,000 tonnes of carbon committed in that one move. And I met with Chris Hume, the Climate and Energy Secretary, last week, and he said that they're actually going to name and shame the government departments that aren't meeting their 10% commitment on their buildings. They're publishing the data in real time. And what all of these organisations doing this together is they're removing the excuses that people have for inaction, and they're proving that change is actually possible. We've also launched a campaign called Lighter Later, which aims to move an hour of daylight from the morning and put it in the evening where it can be better used. Now, you might have seen this, this campaign on the front page of the BBC News website today, where it is because the FA and 20 other sporting bodies have signed up. And you might have heard about it because on the 3rd of December we've got a bill going to the House of Commons where the actual issue of clock change will be debated. So within 1 year we've achieved all of these incredible things because this idea was simple, positive and powerful. On the 10th of October, just to rush through a couple of the things that we're actually up to next, we are staging with 350.org the world's biggest day of action on climate change, where thousands of events around the world will take place with people taking action on climate change and making a real difference. And we're also launching My 1010. Now these little funny carbon blobs are our way of representing your carbon. So we're going to help people and give them individual advice that's relevant to them, and actually to say thank you for all of the work that you've done with us over the last year. We're actually going to give you guys here at TFN the first access to the tool. So if any of you want to try that out and have a go on this tool, see if it works for you, then you can put your name at the back there and you'll get access to that about a month and a half before we actually release it to the rest of the world. So what next? And this is a photo at a festival of Tom Middleton, who's made a song for 1010 and made all those people very excited, as you can see there. So what's next for 1010? Well, I think the really exciting thing about what we've achieved so far is actually the fact that we've now built a movement. We've got 100,000 people, all of these businesses, hospitals and schools, and we've got 25 incredible people. Now, if in our first year setting up like this, if we can get to this scale, and we can achieve this much political change, where can we go over the next 5 years? Now, to give you one example, off the coast of the UK, there is 6 times more renewable energy that we could, than the entire country uses if we were to put offshore wind farms out there. 6 times more energy. But yet, still, there's no campaign pushing for that. I think 1010, for example, might be the perfect campaign to unlock the issue of renewable energy in this country in a really big way. So that's the sort of place that we're starting to look now, and I think it's incredibly exciting. TFN are the people that made this possible. Back last year, just after we launched, when I came and stood at the event, we had very little funding, and we actually needed money to help tide us over during that initial period. And I can say that you guys in this room actually made 1010 possible to grow this big and to be this and to be as effective as we are, so thank you. But we also do need money continuing on as well. So if any of you want to come and speak with any of us afterwards, that would be an incredible help. And the sorts of things that it would be brilliant for you to get involved in if you want is 1, test driving My 1010, because we'd love to have you in there. 2, come for lunch at 1010. We hold lunches every month where we tell people about our upcoming plans and we try and match people with different projects. And the third, of course, which is central to everything we do, sign up to 1010. We have tags at the back, which are these ones you can see here that are actually made out of a recycled jumbo jet. Fanny and I sort of decided what we should do on the first day of the campaign. We decided to buy a chunk of a Boeing 747, melt it down, and then turn it into these little tags which you can get at the back. So finally, I just want to say one last time, thank you to so many of the people in this room. It's been the most incredible experience working on this campaign over the last year. And I hope that you'll see that we are one of those strategic campaigns that have come in and made a real and lasting difference on such an important issue. Thank you.